Hey guys, Mike with Long Range the Lilies, here to talk to you today about scoring, specifically scoring in the PRS and why I feel there are some better ways to do it and there's some changes that could be made that would improve the equity of the sport across all the regions. There's some very strong feelings about this out there, and this is not intended to stir the pot or start a bitch session or air my grievances across YouTube and the interwebs. It's just, again, I want to start a discussion. I want us talking about it. And so guys can take their concerns and their gripes to their match directors and regional directors who get to vote. I don't run a match for the PRS currently, so I don't have a vote. This is my method of appealing to everybody else out there, again, just to start the discussion. So the way scoring in the PRS currently works, it is based off of percentage of match winner. So however many targets the match winner hits, that is 100%. And then your score is based off your percentage of that match winner. So if you were to hit half of the targets the match winner hit, you would be 50%. And then, it works down from first place, second place, whatever. And then ties are sorted out by time, usually on a dedicated tiebreaker stage. So that's fine. It works okay, but what we're finding is based off of any number of factors, whether it's regional flavors as far as geography, the way ranges are, square ranges versus field match ranges, areas with less wind versus areas with more wind. Areas with less wind tend to have much tighter scores. Areas with more wind tend to have a broader disbursement across the scores. Even if you were to take the same 100 guys and they shoot, say, I'll use the Hornady PRC match out in Utah or Evanston, Wyoming, however you want to look at it. If you take the same 100 guys that shoot that match and then you go shoot, let's say, the frontline defense match in the summer or the fall, well, there's typically less wind. It's a very square range, cut out of trees, so the trees kind of block some of the wind. I'm not saying it's not challenging. There's other factors there. What I'm saying is the score disparity is going to be different. The top 20, 30 guys at the East Coast frontline match are going to be much closer than the top 20 guys on the Hornady PRC match. It's just the way things are. So what do I think should happen? Well, I think, and again, I've said this before, I don't think you should present a problem or a gripe without suggesting some sort of solution. My solution is I think that there needs to be some factor of placement-based scoring in addition to the percentage of match winner scoring. I don't think that you can do just straight placement scoring because, again, that actually favors a Western region. So, there's a very valid complaint, like K&M is a perfect example of this. If you miss a shot at the Collis match at K&M, that could drop you 10, 15, 20 places. If you miss a shot at the Hornady PRC match out west, you're probably not dropping that many places. I mean, don't get me wrong, you're going to drop places. The level of competition in the PRS now is just insane. But what I'm saying is, it's going to be worse there where there's less wind to break things up. And I keep using wind as an example, but there's a lot of other things. Not all matches are created equal. Some matches are far harder than others. Some matches have a traditional reputation as meatball matches. And there's a lot of numbers and facts that can support this. There's a shooter that produces a spreadsheet every year of all the PRS matches. And he's done it for the last, I want to say 4 years. I could be wrong on that. And there's some definite trends there. And you can see he does a great breakdown. His brain's far bigger than mine. He does a great breakdown where it's got shooter's median score, and then he can, at the matches, it'll say average shooter's difference from their average median. So he'll factor all the shooter's scores over the season, and he'll realize their median number, and then he'll apply that to the matches they shot at, and they'll see what their percentage differentiation from that median was. So, if he goes to an easy match, he'll score 5, 6, 8 points higher. If he goes to a harder match, it'll go lower, and then you factor that across the entire scoring field, not just one shooter, and you have some really good data there. So a little bit of a tangent to explain that, but that spreadsheet's pretty revealing and incredible about scoring as it relates to the PRS. I think that if you wanted to shade the odds in your favor, you could definitely pick a schedule where the trend is that they are quote unquote points friendly matches. I'm not going to call them easier matches because that's not true either, but they're more point friendly than other matches. You can definitely challenge yourself and seek out harder matches if you want, but that's another topic. So back to the scoring. So if you did placement-based scoring, I think it would really, really hurt the East Coast shooters. And by East Coast, I mean everybody kind of east of the Mississippi. If you do points-based scoring, it hurts the guys out west where that wind just tends to break up the scores. I think if you were to blend those two options, for example, if you had points-based score, just like we traditionally do now, and then you had placement-based score, done very similar. First place is 100 points, second place is 99, third place is 98, all the way down to wherever. And you were to take those two scores, let's say you come in 10th by points percentage and then 10th over here, and you blend those two percentage-based scores, so it'd be like a 90 and let's say a 95, and you end up with a 92.5. I think what it does is it mitigates some of the disparity. I don't know of, I'm not going to say I don't think that there is, but I don't know of yet a better solution to this. I've talked to shooters all over the country, from mid-pack guys to the top guys from all the regions, and gotten all their opinion. And everybody kind of seems to feel like there needs to be some sort of change, as and I don't think it's a hit on anything. Like, as the sport evolves and gets better, and when you think about it, like, we're a pretty young sport. When you look at sports like golf or baseball or something like that that's been around forever, their rules have evolved and modified as well. So, again, this isn't a gripe or the PRS is all jacked up or anything like that. I'm suggesting an improvement through the medium that I have available to me, which is YouTube videos to all of you guys. What you guys do with that information is well up to you. So that is the first scoring thing I wanted to address. So the second thing I wanted to talk about, and the one that I feel like would be the easiest to change and probably needs to change the quickest, is the way we score TAC class and production. So the way it's currently scored is, if you show up and you're the only TAC class shooter, you win the match and you get 100 points. Whereas if you show up and you compete against 10 other match class shooters, the 10 other TAC class shooters, the top TAC class guy will get 100%, and then you will base your scores off of his percentage. What I don't like about that is it enables a person who is, in essence, never competed against another TAC class shooter to carry 300 points into the finale. I feel like this is a little unfair when there's a lot of other TAC class shooters that are competing against deeper fields that have 10, 15 plus people that they're competing against. So what is my solution? So my proposed solution is, you score TAC and factory and all those other classes just off percentage of match winner, off open. And what this does is it's more of a true indication of how that shooter did. So for example, the guy that shows up by himself is the only guy competing in TAC class. Let's say he shoots 50% of the open winner, he would get 50 points. Whereas before he would get 100, and that's a huge difference. Whereas the guy over here, let's say he comes in third in TAC class, but he scored 80% of the match winner, he's going to get 80 points, as to opposed to before, he would get a percentage based off of whatever the TAC class match winner was, which may or may not have been less. I feel like this is a more equitable thing that definitely helps mitigate some of the risk and helps those guys that are competing against deep fields get better scores. I feel like we should be rewarding those guys competing against deeper fields instead of rewarding that guy. And I have seen this, who will wait till the last second, see who signed up for a match, and if there's no TAC class shooter there, they'll sign up for that match because it's an easy 100 points. And I think that this would be a really great way to mitigate that. I don't personally shoot TAC class. I don't personally shoot factory or production, excuse me. So I don't really have a dog in this hunt or a dog in this fight, but I do see a lot of inequity, and I just wanted to bring it up. So guys, those are the two things that I wanted to bring up, or things that I feel like could be improved in the scoring in the PRS. Take it for what it's worth. Again, this is not me slamming anybody or saying things are all jacked up and they need to change. This is my way of suggesting to match directors and regional match directors who have a vote, who can change things, what to take to next year's rules committee. I don't think that we need to stop midstream or it's an emergency or anything like that. The proper way to do it is to bring it up to match directors, regional match directors, and then have them vote on it for the incoming year. I didn't realize that some people like to just, get on Facebook and just complain and call people out and curse and just make general asses of themselves, like I saw last year with the Mulligan debacle. Not a fan of that. Try to keep things respectful, and hopefully this comes across in that way. So guys, thanks for watching. If you like what you see, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends. I hope this message is received in the with the intention that I'm trying to give, and that is just to, again, to spark that debate. So guys, we'll see you soon out there.